So let's begin by tuning in into your own heart center, tuning into what it is that brings you here tonight. What was the motive? What caught your attention? What did you feel inside that's drawing you to share this hour together? Tune into the inner movement, the impulse, the inspiration, because it's to that inner inspiration that we want to remain attuned throughout the course of the evening. The inner teacher, the inner expression of truth and love. And now, feel your connection to everyone else who's here tonight. We've got about 40. So there's 40 other people here. Just allow yourself to feel your connection to them. Not so much with your head. It won't happen there so much. It's with your heart. What an amazing thing to be in this together. And when I mean this, I don't mean just this hour together, in this life experience together, in this challenging time together. We must learn that it's that only being in it together when we move through it in the way that we need to, that we will come out of it in the way that we need to, must be done together. We don't huddle in our foxholes waiting for the storm to move past. We come out, we stand in the light, we open our hearts, we hold on to each other's hands. Yes, that's a little figurative right now. But in your heart, you can feel your connection to one another. If you let go of the idea that we're separate and sequestered away in our own homes, the heart and soul is always in connection. So just see if you can feel that best you can. What a privilege to be connected in this way with such amazing people. People that care about the planet. People that care about other people in the world. What an amazing group of people this is. Jesus, when speaking as and from the cosmic Christ, said, "Wherever two or more are gathered in my name, there I will be with them also." So here we are gathering in the name of love, in the name of light, in the name of hope, in the name of truth. And here Spirit is in our midst, connecting us, empowering us. Let's set our intention tonight to open to Spirit, to open to higher consciousness, to come out of the foxhole of fear and reactivity and pessimism and stand in the light of truth and love, to be empowered, to allow our souls to come forth from the background where they normally operate, to come forth into the personality self. No longer to leave the personality in a sense of fear and aloneness and separation, but to be empowered to come into self-sovereignty in service to the planet. And lastly, the intention is to grow in our capacity to bring love to suffering, which is the main curriculum of our life here. To learn to bring love, which is what we are, to suffering, which is what we experience when we forget who we are. To learn to bring love to our own suffering and to bring the love that we are to the suffering on the planet, suffering in human consciousness. All right. Thank you. So this has been quite a week. Very difficult week, hasn't it? And all of you that are here tonight have this incredible sensitive heart. You have these incredible sensitive hearts. And so you can feel what's going on. It's not just that we see it in the news feeds, but we can feel it because we're a part of the larger consciousness. And all this is taking place in a way that we can feel. It's so important that we stay in touch with that. Now, we've been conditioned when things get tough and they get scary and they get difficult and painful, we've been conditioned to do one of two things. We've been conditioned to either repress it and deny it and try to get away from it and turn our awareness away and distract from it, which is really detrimental. It means all that toxic energy gets stuck in our system, compacted into the system, has detrimental effects physically, emotionally, and mentally. The opposite of what we do, the opposite of that, is that we get caught up in it. We lose ourselves in the drama. It kind of takes over. We feel kind of swept along like a leaf in a torrent. So neither of these approaches are helpful, turns out. There is a third approach, and that is to learn to stay in one's heart, to stay present with great courage, to stay present with the discomfort, with the emotional discomfort, with the upset, with the turmoil, with the crisis, to stay present, to keep our hearts open, and to allow love to respond to the crisis, to respond to the suffering. So that's what we're going to learn to do tonight. We're going to practice together, which will make it all the more powerful. We're going to practice keeping the heart open, staying present in the midst of what's happening, and learn to have an impact on it in a way that lifts and expands our consciousness and makes love sovereign in our lives. And when love becomes sovereign in our lives, that has an impact on the collective consciousness that we are a part of. Just like what's happening in the collective consciousness can impact you and your personal consciousness, as almost all of us have experienced this week. So what happens in your consciousness, what you intentionally cultivate in your consciousness, can have a profound and beneficial effect to the consciousness, the larger collective consciousness that we're a part of. And that's really good news. And it means that if we can become more conscious and more intentional and more centered in the soul, that is to say, more centered in awareness and love and light. If we can be more centered in that and intentional in that, we will be less affected by what's happening in the collective consciousness, and we will be more of an influence on what's happening in collective consciousness. Now, this is been proven in some very interesting scientific studies where they had groups of experienced meditators go into cities and meditate for periods of days and weeks, sometimes months. And then they checked out what was happening in the city. And without exception, in every city that the meditators went and meditated in, there was a drop in the crime rate, a drop in the murder rate, a drop in domestic violence, a drop in robberies, so forth. And this happens city after city. So there is something to be said about a group of people who come and and protest in the way that we're going to do tonight. We're protesting in and from our hearts. We're saying, no, what's happening, and even the kind of riotous response to it is not the way we want to be doing it. We're protesting, reacting, and living only from ego and reactivity. We're wanting instead to take a stand in the light of love and to do something together that will make an impact on human consciousness. So let's begin this process tonight. I'm going to lead you through about a 40-minute meditative process that will have a number of different kind of stages to it. And then I'll give you at the end, what time is it? I won't give you a lot of time. We'll have a little time to do any kind of Q&A. And then my intention is to end the whole class with a mantra called the Gayatri Mantra. And we'll do a mala of that together for those of you that wish to stay by for that. So very powerful evening. And I invite you to open your hearts right now and settle into yourselves. See if you can find right now a posture that you'll be able to hold for the next 40 minutes. So this should be a straight up and down, an erect posture, because energy is going to be moving through your system. And at the same time, it should be a comfortable and relaxed posture. So some kind of balance between relaxed, comfortable, and yet erect, upright. We want to sit in a way that is conducive to feeling awake and aware. So it's not a slumping posture. It's not a laying back in a lazy boy chair kind of posture. It's a posture that gives rise to a sense of awake awareness. And a posture where you have the sense that the heart is central. The heart center is central. The heart center runs from shoulder to shoulder and from the base of the neck to the bottom of the sternum. So just have a sense that you're wanting to sit in a way where the heart feels like elevated and forward. Not that you're using a lot of musculature to hold it that way, just that you have this sense. We're wanting to lead from the heart. And so we want our posture to demonstrate that, to facilitate that. And just see what it's like to sit in this way with this intention. I'm wanting to lead with the heart. I don't want to lead from fear. I don't want to lead from reactivity. I don't want to lead from ignorance. I don't want to lead from conditioning. I don't want to do what the rest of the culture is doing just because they're doing it. I don't want to follow the tribe. I want to follow my heart. I want my heart to be central. I want my heart to lead. I want all my thoughts, words, and actions to be informed by and empowered by my heart. Now, into this upright, heart-centered posture, begin to breathe in a very conscious way. Bring your awareness to breath. And let the breath become slower and fuller and deeper. If you were to count during your breaths, I would want you to be counting 4 counts in and 4 counts out. Don't worry about counting. Just have this sense that breath is smooth and refined, and it nourishes the body mind as you inhale A nice full inhalation. You breathe out all the toxins and waste products and spent prana on every exhalation. And again, have the intention that that breathing in this way helps to contribute to this sense of feeling awake and aware. Spot on, present, with intention. We're here to do something important together. So we want to be awake and aware and on purpose. So we feed the body, mind, and the energy field fresh prana with a slower, fuller, deeper breathing rhythm. Should take a little effort, but no strain. And feel how, if you breathe in deeply, it begins in the belly, and then at the top of your inhalation, it causes the heart to rise, the chest to rise. Just let this enhance this sense of wanting to lead from the heart. All right, then let that breathing pattern dissolve back into just your normal rhythm and notice the effect of the practice. Looking for a sense of greater inner stillness, centeredness, heart centeredness, and a more enhanced sense of awake awareness. Now, a second breathing practice, this is going to be a little different, and I want it to be full and deep, but it won't be as full and deep as the last one, and that's fine. I want you to inhale from behind, like as though you could inhale through the space between your shoulder blades. You inhale through the back of the heart center into the heart center itself. And then as you breathe out, you allow that energy to radiate out in all directions. Inhale in from behind. Exhale out in all directions. And imagine that you're breathing in light from the space behind the heart. Some of you are familiar with that phrase. We've been using it in our classes. Some of you are not. Just imagine that just behind the heart center is this profound portal to soul consciousness. And we are inviting the inflow of the soul in our work tonight. We're wanting to operate from soul consciousness, not from our conditioned consciousness. So visualize breathing in light from the space behind the heart and breathing that light into the heart center with your inhalation. And then breathing that light out of the heart center in all directions. Make the breath full and slow and deep as you have been. But this time with a greater emphasis on the visualization of breathing in light from behind. And when I say behind, I'm talking about like from the background of your being. You don't end at the skin. You are a magnificent being, and the body happens to be a part of that. You're breathing in from higher consciousness, from the background of your being. You're drawing it in through the space behind the heart, into the heart center with your inhalation, and then letting it radiate out in all directions. With every breath, visualize the heart becoming more radiant with light. Breathing in as though to invite higher consciousness to flow into the personality self. The personality self is made up of the physical, emotional, and mental bodies. The soul operates typically like behind the scenes, but we're asking that this profound presence, this soul consciousness, can come into the personality and operate through it. To give us a sense during this hour of what it would be like to live soul centered rather than ego centered, love centered rather than fear centered. Now, let the breathing part of this go and just rest in the center of your heart that is now radiant with light. If you don't see it that way or feel it that way, just visualize it that way. It's totally fine. Radiating brilliant light. Now, notice where in your system you have been struggling this week. Struggling with fear, struggling with overwhelm, struggling with doubt and pessimism. Notice where those energies have been living in your system, in your body mind. Sadness, a feeling of loss, perhaps a feeling of anger, reactivity, feeling of overwhelm. Locate, if you can, those energies in the body mind and have a sense that the light in your heart flows to them, envelops them, infuses them. Remember what it was like this week if you had this experience of feeling alone and scared, kind of at the whim of what was happening in the culture. And let that sense of a scared, separate self now be embraced by this soul light. Let there be felt a connection between higher consciousness and the mind that has been languishing in fear and loss, pessimism, etc. Let the light flow to these painful, scared, uncomfortable energies and envelop them and infuse them. As that happens, have a sense that the sphere of light that's in the heart, that it grows and expands and it includes the sphere of light, of soul consciousness, of presence. Have a sense that it grows and expands and includes and envelops everything that's vibrating with fear, feelings of inadequacy, anger. Everything in the system that does not feel resonant with love and light. Let it be enveloped, let it be included in this expanding heart of soul, love, and light. So that the result is the body mind is held in this loving presence of love, infinite wisdom, profound tranquility and equanimity. And if you can, just for a moment, shift from feeling identified as the scared, separate self, shift into the sense, I am the soul. I am this light divine. I am this light of pure conscious awareness and love and compassion and power and peace and bliss. That's what I am. Operating in and through this personality for a purpose. All right, so that's stage one in this meditation. Now we move to stage two, and here, shift your awareness to so that it's looking upward, not your eyes. Your eyes are closed, your head is in alignment with your spine. Let your awareness look upwards. Your intuitive senses point upward, high above the head, to the highest dimension of divine consciousness. There is coming down, visualize it, a beam of light. It's a mighty shaft of light that's flowing down, pouring down from the highest dimension of divine consciousness, pouring down through all dimensions of consciousness, pouring into your head and through your internal energetic anatomy, your chakric system. Visualize it, feel it, see it. Light, divine light, the descending light of spirit, pouring down from high above the head, coming through the body, radiating the body, filling the body with light, pouring in and through the energy field, and continuing to pour down into the earth, continuing to pour down all the way to the center of the earth, to the core of the earth, to the heart of Mother Earth. Visualize yourself as being in the center of this beam of divine light. coming from high above, moving through and encompassing your entire system and penetrating down into the core of the earth. The divine light grounding into the planet through you. And here in the heart center, where it intersects with the soul light, it becomes all the more powerfully brilliant, like the sun itself has taken up residence in your chest. Continue to nurture this visualization. Light, the most beautiful and pristine light pouring down, the descending light of spirit through your body, around your body, touching, healing, purifying, awakening every level of your being, and continuing to pour down to root itself, to ground itself there at the core of the planet. Feel how that grounds you to the planet, but in a very purposeful way. How it gives you a hint, perhaps more than a hint, of a sense that your being here on the earth at this time is no mistake. You're here for a reason, for a purpose. Your soul knows that purpose and needs only for you to attune your personality self to the soul in ways similar to what we're doing right here, opening to the light, letting every level of the being be touched and transmuted, awakened by the light. And just notice the effect of the practice thus far on your state of consciousness, your state of mind, your state of being awake and aware, purposeful. Notice how it's affected, if it has in any way affected the energy of fear, pessimism. Stay in your radiance. All right, now the next step. I want you to imagine that all 40 of us, 44 of us now, and if you're viewing this later on YouTube, that's totally fine. You're going to join in this group as though you were here in person, as though you were here live. Visualize yourself as part of a circle. We're standing facing one another in a circle, all 44 of us. Feel your connection to these amazing people, the soul light just radiating in their chest, with these beams of light coming down from above and channeling through all the way into the core of the earth. Just look around and see who's here. Feel yourself to be a part of this group. And now let the light that is in your heart, this radiant light, this combined light of the soul and of descending spirit, let it pour forth into this circle, enveloping everyone in the circle. So that you have a sense that there is this great and powerful light that is forming in the center of us. It's very real. Feel the light in the heart pour out toward everyone else in the circle. Now, if you choose to, I'd like you to make an invitation. Now, again, this is your choice. If you feel comfortable with, if you feel drawn to this, if not, that's totally fine. But if you choose to, open yourself to the great beings that are supporting us and facilitating our evolution through this difficult time. The ascended masters, all the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas, all the angels and archangels, all the saints and sages, the liberated saints and sages of all religions, all these profoundly, unimaginably evolved beings who are inclining their gaze and their power and their grace down onto the planet right now to guide us through this labyrinth. If you choose to, invite them to pour their light into your own light and to pour their light into this circle, to blend their light with your light here in your heart, and to blend their light with the light that is in this circle that we're participating in. And feel how it profoundly raises the vibration. Feel how this light now from our own soul light and our own connection with spirit, in addition to what has been poured out by the great masters, feel how this light illumines us, purifies on every level, lifts and expands our consciousness, fans the spark, the ember of passion inside of us for service to humanity. Let that grow. Feel yourself connected to one another and to these great witnesses, these great beings who are involving themselves to help human consciousness navigate through this difficult time and come out the other end in a higher level of consciousness. Now, the next thing, I'd like you to imagine that we're all going to turn around. Now our backs are going to be facing each other. And our fronts are going to be facing out into the world. And together we're going to send out our great sensitivity and empathy to connect with the great pain, the lostness, the despair, the profound grief and pessimism that is in our own country and culture, but also is in the world. Don't be afraid to feel moved by this great pain, this great crying out. People lost in darkness, lost in the drama, lost in the drama of their own minds and of the collective mind. Let yourself feel their pain. You don't have to take it onto yourself. We're going to be doing something very different than that. You don't have to take it onto yourself. Let yourself connect to it because you already are connected to it, because we are all interconnected with one another. Now, here's what we're going to do. This is going to be a modified Tonglen practice for those of you that know that practice. We're going to visualize the world's pain and heartache and anger and injustice and hatred and violence and sadness and loss. We're going to visualize these energies as dark, smoky energies. We're going to breathe them in and through our heart centers all the way into the light, into the circle of light. We're not going to breathe them into our personal heart. We're not going to breathe them into our personalities. We breathe these energies right through our heart center, right through into the light, this circle of light, where you'll watch these energies dissolve. And then you'll breathe out this profound power of light and love back out to the world. It's an exchange. We take the darkness of these difficult, very painful emotional energies that the world is experiencing. We take them right through our heart center into the light where we watch them dissolve. And then we exhale that light back out into the world, back out to every person who's struggling in the darkness. Now, you can do this with a long, slow inhalation and a long, slow exhalation. That's the classic way of doing it. Or don't worry about breath if that's distracting. And just concentrate on visualizing, taking the dark, smoky energies right through. Just imagine that your chest is completely hollow and full of light. And you're just running these dark, smoky energies right through that hollow kind of tunnel of the heart, right into the light behind us. And then you send this brilliant light of love and power and grace and compassion back out into the world. We're exchanging the darkness for the light. Wherever you feel you can connect, whatever energy you can connect with, breathe that into the light and send the light back out to that. Have the courage to open your heart to the pain of others. These energies that you draw in will not get stuck in you. We're being protected against that. They go right through into the light. And then you draw the light from behind and radiate it through your heart back out into the world. You can visualize specific groups of people. You can visualize specific cities and work with it in this way. Or you can visualize it like human consciousness as a whole, or the planet as a whole. What a profound privilege to be a channel of the light, to be a channel of divine love. And as you're doing this, I want to remind you of the great statement by Martin Luther King Jr. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. We're exchanging the darkness with light. We're exchanging the hate, the fear with love. If you're using the breathing in and out method, it's just long, slow inhalations, drawing in, visualizing, scooping up, drawing in the smoky energy, moving it through the heart and into the light of our circle, where it's just utterly dissolved back to source. And then exhaling the light, gathering the light up with the exhalation through the back, radiating it out the front, back out to where it is needed in the world. Don't think for a moment that this is only imaginary. I've been using Tonglen practices for decades. They're absolutely transformative and powerful and effective in exchanging these dark energies, these lower dimensions of consciousness, with higher dimensions of consciousness, with the light of love. Going to stay with this just a little longer. You can think of individuals to do this with, or groups of people to do this with, or as I said earlier, cities to do this with. Take the dark smoky energy all the way through into this powerful circle of light behind us. And then channel the light back in return. Now, let's bring the exchange to an end. And I want you to just stand, visualize us standing with our heart centers facing out into the world. And I invite you to try this. You don't have to do this, of course, but I'd invite you to try it. It enhances the experience to lift your hands, the palm of your hands. And now we're just going to allow the light from behind and from above to course through our beings, and especially our heart centers and our hands, our hand chakras, and out into the world. Just have a sense that this very powerful circle of light is pouring through the back of your body, out the front, like the sun radiating out into the world, through the heart and through the hands. The descending light of spirit continues to pour down from above, grounding all of this down into the planet, down into the Earth's core. And we just take 2 more minutes to be channels of light and love and power, grace, transformation. Absolutely purifying everything in our system and radiating out into human consciousness, out onto the planet, encircling the planet. There is no limit to the power of this light. Just think that the light pours out from this group, encircling the globe, encouraging the raising of consciousness of every living being, not just humans. A raising of consciousness from untruth to truth, from darkness to light, from death to the truth, which is the immortality of life and love and spirit. And now I invite you to both enhance the power of this light that's channeling through you, and also to slowly bring to conclusion this meditation. I'd like you to repeat after me the Bodhisattva prayer. It goes like this. I'll say a line and then you repeat, please. May all beings be happy and free. May all beings be safe and well. May all beings awaken to their true nature. May all beings live together in peace and harmony. Let's do that again. The script for this is on your screen. May all beings be happy and free. May all beings be safe and well. May all beings awaken to their true nature. May all beings live together in peace and harmony. And we send that vibration out into the world, that great wish out into the world for all beings. All right, then let the hands back down to the lap. Take a couple of nice deep breaths. Feel how your body is being supported by the chair that you're on. And when you're ready, let your eyes open. Let the body move a bit. So I wish very much that we were gathered together in person right now. We could see one another. We could hold each other's hands. We could give each other hugs. or we could take a little while longer to kind of share what this experience has been like. The kind of downside of this particular platform is it takes quite a while to type in questions and responses and for me to respond. So I think we're not going to do that since we're at the top of the hour. You're welcome to place any comment that you wish on the chat board. I think we'll forego trying to take questions at this point. Now, this is how I'm going to end our session tonight, and I'd like to invite you to join me in this, but certainly if you feel done, this has been an intense meditation. If you feel done, I won't be offended at all if you just simply sign out. I'm going to do a mala of the Gayatri Mantra, which means 108 recitations of the Gayatri Mantra. Because it is such a powerful healing tool for one's individual consciousness and for collective consciousness. The Gayatri Mantra calls down divine light onto the planet. It calls down the highest divine light into our consciousness, and if we hold this intention, it will call down the highest divine light into the consciousness of our culture, the consciousness of our world. So the Gayatri Mantra can be a profound blessing right now, especially with all the intensity that's happening. We want to respond to the understandable intensity of fear that's on the planet right now. We want to learn to respond to suffering with love. That is the curriculum of our souls in this lifetime. That is my belief. To grow in our capacity to bring love to suffering, our own and that of others. So we can do it in the ways that we've done it here tonight with this visualization, the receiving and the channeling of light, the work with Tonglen, beautiful, powerful work. We can also do it by chanting mantra on behalf of others. So this may not appeal to some of you. You may not be familiar, but I invite you to stay on as long as you wish. You may want to just stay for 5 minutes. It'll take us about 15 minutes to get through the entire mala. And we'll have different visualizations along the way. I promise you it will be a kind of an amazing experience if you choose to stay by. And if not, I thank you so much for coming, and I love you, and I'm so grateful that you participated in this process tonight. You gave it such a extra power with your presence. So if you have a mala and you'd like to get it out, this is a mala. For some of you that don't know, it's got 108 beads, and it's a way of counting the repetition of the mantra. There's many auspicious kind of reasons that we say it 108 times, but that's what we'll be doing. I'll put the mantra up on the screen for those of you that may not be as familiar with it. We'll start it kind of slow, and we'll build. We'll do it out loud a bit. We'll do it silently a bit. We'll do it with visualizations. Now remember that this mantra, we're setting the intention to use this mantra tonight to call down the highest light of divine spirit and to bring all aspects of our being into perfect alignment with spirit. We're calling down the highest light of spirit into the consciousness of the planet, into human consciousness, into the consciousness of our culture that is struggling and suffering so right now. We're asking that it has its highest effect on the healing of fear and anger and reactivity and injustice, and that it will bring instead the light of the soul to the forefront, where the priority of the soul, connection and love and harmony and peace and the well-being of everyone on the planet, that priority might begin to become more and more sovereign in our consciousness. All right. So let's begin the Gayatri Mantra together. I'll repeat it slowly for those of you that need to learn it. It's kind of a mouthful at first. And many of you have done this with me. We used to end the class with it every week. So we'll do it again tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. And again, I say to you, if halfway through you feel fatigued and there's like, I'm just done with this, I don't want you to push yourself beyond what you're comfortable. Let it go and you feel free to sign out. And I thank you so much for your participation. All right. So just for a moment, attune to this intention. Open yourself to the continued downflow of light into your system. As we say, Om Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam. Bargo Devasya Di Mahi Diyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam. Bargo Devasya Di Mahi Diyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tatsavitur Varenyam. Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tatsavitur Varenyam. Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tatsavitur Varenyam. Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tatsavitur Varenyam. Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tatsavitur Varenyam. Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Continue this beautiful visualization of light flowing into your system, flowing all the way through you and rooting and grounding itself into the core of the earth. Om Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam. Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam. Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam. Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam. Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam. Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam. Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam. Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam. Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam. Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam. Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Now continue at your own pace, quietly, silently in your mind. Visualize the light coming down not only to you, but now to everyone who's practicing, to everyone who is participating in this video, this experience tonight, even if they're watching later on. The light coming down to us all as you continue to repeat the mantra. Every now and again, just refresh that visualization of light pouring down to everyone here who's practicing. Let's do it aloud together a little longer, shall we? Om Bhu Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Saviturvarenyam. Bhargodevasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bhu Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Saviturvarenyam. Bhargodevasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bhu Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Saviturvarenyam. Bhargodevasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bhu Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Saviturvarenyam. Bhargodevasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bhu Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Saviturvarenyam. Bhargodevasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bhu Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Saviturvarenyam. Bhargodevasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bhu Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Saviturvarenyam. Bhargodevasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bhu Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Saviturvarenyam. Bhargodevasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bhu Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Saviturvarenyam. Bhargodevasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bhu Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Saviturvarenyam. Bhargodevasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bhu Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Saviturvarenyam. Bhargodevasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bhu Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Saviturvarenyam. Bhargodevasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. So let's go silent again. We're halfway through. This time now, I'd like you to visualize light pouring down, not just to yourself, not just to the group, but into human consciousness, into consensus consciousness, the collective consciousness of our culture and of our world, light pouring down, love supplanting fear, light supplanting darkness. Keep that visualization as you continue to say the mantra now silently. Let's do it again together out loud. Again, with this intention of allowing the light to just flow to the planet, to consciousness, to the consciousness of everyone on the planet. Om Bu Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam. Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bu Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam. Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bu Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam. Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bu Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bu Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bu Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bu Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bu Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bu Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bu Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bu Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Now let's go and finish up with doing it quietly. And do it as though you are the light, not just to invoke the light. Feel the light in your chest and say it as though you are the light. Now the last four we'll do together. Om Bu Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bu Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Om Bu Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. One last one. Om Bu Bhuvaha Swaha. Om Tatsavitur Varinyam Bhargorevasya Dhimahi Yo Yonaha Prachodayat. Just give yourself another minute just to bask in the vibration of the mantra and of the light. Thank you so much for staying by, for sharing this great experience this evening, for bringing the light of your soul into this experience, into this service to human consciousness. I hope you'll come and join me again next Wednesday as we continue this process. It does really make a difference in our lives individually and collectively. Thank you so much for your willingness to be of service in this way. So I love you. Thank you for coming. Namaste.